IBECC Board of Directors for inviting us back to speak today. Your company operates on a sharing economy platform where your hosts operate as independent contractors, where they align both their interests and their values with that of your company. And this is where they promote not just a room, but an experience. And that is where you have your main competitive advantage. Racism is currently flooding your platform, and it is detrimental to not only your company, but to all parties that are involved. As you are well aware, there recently was a social media campaign, #AirbnbWhileBlack. This bombarded Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and it gave your company little time to respond. In addition to this social media campaign, there was also a study done by Harvard Business School that substantiated claims that were made by Airbnb hosts that they were discriminating on their guests based off of their race by canceling on their reservations or denying them the initial opportunity to stay to begin with.
There is a few ethical issues that I'd like to go over in Airbnb's attempt to address the racial discrimination on this platform. The first issue is in and of itself racial discrimination. There's also an inability of your company to uphold current non-discrimination policies that are in place, thereby enabling racism on the platform. There's an inability also to fulfill the responsibility to your stakeholders, not just guests, but hosts as well as the conflicting set of rights that both groups would have. Dinesa, an Asian American woman, had her Airbnb booking canceled at the very last minute, leaving her stranded. The host offered her this explanation: "I wouldn't rent to you if you were the last person on earth. One word says it all: Asian." As if that was supposed to explain the terrible thing that Diane went through. In her own words, she was treated as though she were less than human. No one should feel as if they're less than human, along with the legal rights that they are entitled, as well as the dignity that they should be afforded. The very act of unequal treatment is not only morally reprehensible, but it also runs counter to your values as a company. Failure to uphold your mission statement, as well as your own anti-discrimination policy, sends the message that racial discrimination is okay on the platform, as long as it doesn't harm our bottom line. And the difficulty in addressing this issue comes from the fact that you as a company must balance the rights of separate stakeholders. Hosts have a right to choose with whom they wish to conduct business, while guests have a right to equal accommodation. However, we can't balance the preferences of one group with the rights of another. It's simply unfair. We must also consider the fact that the community as a whole is harmed by discrimination on their platform. Airbnb has greatly benefited from the diversity of the community in which it operates. And thus discrimination on your platform cuts at the very core of not just your business, but your mission. Racial discrimination demeans entire peoples and holds back the social progress of our society. To live up to your mission, you need to ensure that users do not feel as if they don't belong to traits that they do not control. This is an ugly reminder of the past. And while racial discrimination is no longer enshrined in our laws, the specter of its harm still scars our society. Although the manner in which discrimination is carried out has changed, we still need to heal. To address serious issues of racial discrimination, moving forward or backward. Our solution for Airbnb is proactive in its approach, as laws are backwards looking, hoping to correct what actual actions helps to prevent any future issues. Laws have not kept up with the emergence of the sharing economy, and the responsibility ultimately falls to you, Airbnb, to be ethical and not to rely on laws to restrict what you do and to dictate your identity as a company.
Our solution solution puts a very heavy emphasis on technology. It is essential to stay relevant in a growing data-driven day and age, and that is why our main solution proposal is to implement new internal software. This software will record statistics on the host for key metrics based on the percent that they're canceling on guests, the demographics of the guests that they're housing, in addition to the time between when they cancel on one guest to the time they accept a new guest for that same time frame. This will be an artificially learning system that will allow for unbiased pattern recognition to take place. This machine learning will alert your system of problems that are occurring both internally and externally for your company, which in turn will allow you to uncover problems and solve them much more quickly and effectively. The second part that we are proposing for our solution is to restructure the profile page. Currently, a guest profile page has their name and picture at the top, followed by their biography and reviews and references at the bottom. We are recommending to have the photo and name of a user at the bottom so that this can eliminate the implicit biases that occur when a host initially views that guest page. Also, we are recommending to incentivize hosts to use Instant Book. The use of Instant Book allows a guest to rent out a space without that host having to view their profile. Our last proposed solution is diversity initiatives. We think your company should make it absolutely mandatory for their hosts to complete a diversity training course, to both for the ones that are already pre-existing on your platform, in addition to those who want to become a host. This will allow for increased cultural awareness and a greater knowledge of diversity. This will also work to prevent civil rights violations and increase the inclusiveness of different groups.
Our solution works to resolve the issue of Airbnb's platform enabling discrimination by implementing a new internal software that has artificial learning that will be able to recognize patterns of discrimination. This software will be able to pick up early warning signs when a host may be engaging in unethical behaviors like discrimination. In addition, our recommendation is to revamp the profile so that the biography, reviews, and rating are the focal point, while name and image are not as prevalent on the page, is intended to deter implicit biases from hosts that have preconceived notions and making judgments based on name or appearance. Our solution works to resolve the conflict of rights between hosts and guests by incentivizing hosts to use Instant Book. Instant Book requires that hosts pre-commit to accept all qualified guests, regardless of the content of their profile page. They still have the option to decline a guest if reviews or ratings are not acceptable for their accommodations. Our solution works to fulfill responsibilities to all stakeholders by requiring a mandatory diversity training course for all hosts, both current hosts as well as hosts applying for the first time. The course is going to highlight the mission of Airbnb, which is to make people around the world feel like they can belong anywhere. If a host does not take this diversity course, they will not be able to list their property on the site. The course is intended to help the host recognize that their actions, particularly discriminatory actions, impact the Airbnb community as a whole and therefore have no place on the platform. This is an issue of equal protection, and discrimination is something that Airbnb should not embody in either brand nor values. Airbnb needs to acknowledge that racial discrimination is an issue, and our solution is designed to help Airbnb fulfill its mission to help its users belong anywhere.